If you've been feeling frustrated or struggling to fill your calendar with photography clients, then don't worry, because I'm about to share with you the exact marketing strategy that I used to grow my business from zero to book solid, leave my teaching career behind, and run my photography business full time. When I tell you that I started my photography business with zero business or marketing experience and that I had no clue what I was doing, that is the understatement of the century. I was so green when it came to even understanding what marketing really was for my business. All I knew was I wanted to take pretty pictures, get paid to do so, and maybe eventually quit my teaching job. Now, fast forward 12 years later, and marketing is what I love. It's what I teach, it's what I talk about. And so today I want to talk to you about the 3 things that I did in my business that took me from absolutely zero to completely booked solid and fully understanding and in control of the marketing in my photography business. Before we get into the strategies that did work for my business, I want to tell you about a couple that didn't work to hopefully help you avoid the same pitfalls that I fell into. The first one is trying to copy exactly what someone else was doing in their business. The problem with this is every single business is different. Your business is different from my business, and my business is different from all the other ones out there. So trying to find a one-size-fits-all strategy just doesn't work. The goal should be to find the strategies that work for you, for your ideal clients, for the style of your business. So the trap I fell into was I was desperate to find a strategy that worked. So I looked at what other people were doing and I tried to copy exactly what they were doing, only to feel really frustrated when it didn't work for my business. So knowing that there was no one-size-fits-all system and finding what worked for me, my ideal clients, and my business really helped me to avoid that same strategy pitfall later on in my business. The second mistake I made was not being true to who I was and who I wanted my business to be. There were a lot of strategies out there that I bought into, or I listened to workshops on, or I bought courses on that just didn't really feel true to who I was. I was desperate to find something that worked, and so I allowed myself to try things that did not feel authentic to me. Once I was able to recognize that those were not the strategies that felt good for me or my business, and I could move past those, it allowed me to really focus on the things that actually worked in my business. The third mistake I made was trying to do too much. As you'll see as I go through my marketing strategy that I use now, it's a very simplified strategy. When I was starting out, I was trying to do all the things. I thought I needed to be in all the places and doing all the things that everyone else was doing. And so I took what everyone was doing and I tried to put it all in my business at one time, and it just didn't work. I was spreading myself too thin. So by really focusing on the strategies that work for me, that fit with my audience and fit with my business style, that is when I was able to finally see growth. So now that we've gotten the things that didn't work out of the way, let's look at the things that actually have worked to help me grow my photography business. Number 1 is knowing who my ideal client is. This is something that I struggled with for a really long time in my business because I felt like that if I narrowed down to one particular ideal client, I was going to be eliminating all of these other potential clients. Once I really embraced the idea of an ideal client profile or an ideal client avatar, I started to see the value in how knowing who your ideal client is can help you get really clear on everything else you're doing to market your business. Let me give you a perfect example. When I first started my photography business, I wanted to be the photographer for everybody. If you were willing to pay me to take your pictures, I was happy to be your photographer. But I started to notice that I was leaving certain sessions feeling defeated, feeling drained, feeling tired, not excited to go home and edit the photos. And then other sessions I was leaving feeling energized and excited and ready to go home, go through the photos, start editing, and I could not wait to continue working on their images. Once I started to notice the difference between the clients I was working with and started to understand the idea that I should be choosing who my business is for and creating an ideal client profile, that's when things started to really turn. Now, don't get me wrong. I pushed back on this idea for a really long time because I didn't quite understand the value in it. But once I got crystal clear on who my business was for, and I could really target who she was, what her pain points were, what it was that she was looking for, I could create all the other marketing content for her that was going to draw her in. As soon as I started focusing all of my marketing efforts on connecting with her, connecting with the one particular person I was trying to attract to my business, that is when I started to notice that people were drawn to my business. I was no longer standing on a street corner holding up a sign saying, please come work with me. I was creating content that my ideal client was seeing, was feeling connected to, and they were coming to me like a moth to a flame. So how do you know who your ideal client is? Well, in the most simplest forms, I want you to think about, who do you like working with the most? Is it a past client that you can think of that maybe this was the client that you're like, I wish all my clients could be like her? Or is there a specific style of client that you really enjoy working with? If you're a wedding photographer, maybe you love the bride who's just a little bit eclectic, someone who wants to think outside the box and not do things the traditional normal way. If you're a family photographer, maybe you love to specialize in working with families with little children, young children that are preschool age. Focus on that. Start with the most basic idea of who she is, and then start to build out this idea of what are the things that she's looking for? What are the things that she cares about? What are the things that she thinks about and worries about and wants to learn more about? And then you can create the content around those things that are going to draw her in, build that know, like, and trust. And then before you know it, she's going to be a loyal client. Okay, let's talk about number 2, because I've mentioned it a little bit already in number 1, and that is content. Now, if you heard the word content and you immediately cringed, let me clarify what I mean by content. Content does not necessarily have to be posting on social media. Content can be blog posts, emails, short form video, welcome videos you put on your website, podcasts, YouTube videos. It's anything you're creating and putting out into the world for your audience to find, consume, and connect with you on. So how does content help you grow your business? Well, because we have things like social media and blog posts and emails, this is how your audience is going to get to know you. Because we have access to so many people these days online, you have to find a way to build relationships with your potential clients. The way that you find your audience these days is not you post an ad on social media and they immediately book a session with you. You have to build a relationship, and you build a relationship through content. Let me break down the 3 places that I'm sharing content that gets me photography clients. Number 1 is blog content. By creating blog content, I'm actually building up my SEO, my search engine optimization, my ability to be found in a Google search. By creating blog content, I'm continually adding new keywords to my website so that when a potential client goes on to search for the photographer in my area using certain keywords like personal brand photographer, they are going to find my content more easily because I've built up this base of content on my blog, on my website. So blogging and SEO is one of the main focuses I have in my business for getting and driving new traffic and new clients to my business. The second piece of content that I am always thinking about is email content. One of the main goals in my business is, how can I take someone off of social media or my blog post and put them onto my email list? Because email is where I drive most of my sales. They may hear about me on social media, they may see me on a Google search, but they really get to know me, they really get to build that trust and connection with me through my emails. So email is where I'm creating my second piece of content that I'm using to build relationships and drive sales to my business. And the third place is social media. While it's not my favorite place, it is not my first choice for creating content, it is where my audience is hanging out. So I'm creating content on social media in a consistent way. That doesn't mean constant, it means consistent. And again, my goal with social media content is to build relationships and move them off of the social media platform and onto my email list. The third thing I've done in my business that has been wildly successful in helping me to book more clients is having a really strong referral program. My clients are told about the referral program early in their booking process and reminded often throughout their client experience that when they refer clients to me, they get a reward in return. Now, I've tested several different referral program ideas throughout the time of my business, and the one I have found that works the best is offering my clients a $25 Amazon gift card every time they refer a client that books with me. So if client A refers client B, and client B books their session, they get a small discount on their session, and then I send client A $25 Amazon gift card. It's quick, it's easy, I can do it digitally, and then who doesn't love Amazon, right? And I let client A know that there's no limit on how many referral gift cards they can earn. So they can constantly be sharing their client experience with their friends and family, and I can be getting more clients booked through them. They can be earning gift cards and referrals. Throughout the year, when I know that my clients could most use their Amazon gift cards, like back to school or during the holidays, I will send out email reminders letting them know that if they send new clients my way, I will send them Amazon gift cards in return as a thank you. It's a great way to remind my clients that it's not just right after their session they can refer. They can earn these referral credits all year long and be earning those Amazon rewards throughout the year. So when it comes to referral programs, you can test different things to see what your audience enjoys the most. Maybe they want a credit towards a future session. Maybe they don't. Maybe they prefer an Amazon gift card or a local gift card of some kind. Find what works for you and then remind your audience often that they can be referring people to your business throughout the entire year. It does not have to just be right after their session. So there you have it. Those are the main things I'm doing currently in my business and have been doing for a while that have helped me to grow my photography business to the point that I was able to leave my teaching career behind, run my photography business full time, exceed my teaching salary, and really feel successful in my business. If you found this helpful, make sure you click subscribe and check out some of my other videos on this channel to help you grow your photography business.